Hello, I am going over a recent game of mine. I'm trying to make my way to 1000 ELO and beyond, and also trying to learn the stockfish lines to help me out with the start of the games. Maybe also find me some good tactics or something. It should help me get into a winning position and like at the start of the game. So, anyways, let's get into it. Game I played badminton from England. And anyways, it starts like this. Normal setup. He goes for the Ruy Lopez, and I did the Berlin defense, and he brought out his knight. And I thought about this for a little bit. I didn't really remember what to do from here, but at one time I remember hopping, like one of the lines showed like hopping up to that square. So I went ahead and did it. Um, it took me a little bit to think about it, and it looked like a pretty good move because if he takes, that pawn would recapture, attacking his knight, um, and that's always good to gain a little tempo on your opponent's pieces. So I went with that. He pulled his bishop back, and I brought out my bishop. Um, I didn't remember the lines, but it looked like I followed it, like opening theory at least a little bit. So I wanted to get my bishop out before I bring my pawn up to that square. And he should have taken that pawn. It wasn't defended, but if he would take it, Stockfish does say to move that queen up to attack the knight. Um, so anyhow, I close this off with the pawn. He moved his pawn up, and I didn't know what to do. I thought pinning his knight to the queen was a good move, so I just went with that. Um, and he attacked my bishop, dropped the bishop back, and here I knew like if he would attack with his pawn, I could take with the knight. He would have to recapture either with that, which is just terrible, with his queen, or with his pawn, and then I could just take his pawn. So I was pretty proud of myself for seeing that move. So I took with my knight, and he recaptured with his pawn, and I was able to gain gain a pawn by recapturing and also attacking his rook. And also, the great thing about this move was it was taken with check, so he has to deal with it immediately. So he recaptured, I took, and yeah, this is just a great position. The evaluation bar says I'm at 4.72, and I was feeling pretty good at this point. Um, I know that White's pieces were feeling a bit cramped and not a lot of movement that they'd be able to do, so it was good. And I wanted to get my knight over here to free up my queen, um, to kind of move my queen close to the king. And I didn't know that this was going to be the best move. I just wanted to try and get my queen up there. And he moved there, which I was pretty happy to see because I could just move my queen up to protect and then also give a discover check to the king. So I thought about it for a little bit, wondering where I should go with my bishop, whether I should go here. That didn't really look too good. Here and then go after that. Like nothing really seemed to really work, except for I saw, hey, I could discover check with the bishop and attack the queen and capture the queen. So that's what I did. And if I was thinking clearly, I could have seen that this pawn was being um, pinned by this bishop. And Stockfish wanted me to move my knight up here so that I could deliver checkmate. It was like mate in three, and I didn't see it. I thought if I moved my knight there, he would just recapture. I didn't. For some reason, I didn't see that pin. So I'll have to, in the future, keep my eyes out to make sure the king didn't just walk into a pin like that. I was just happy with the idea of just taking the queen. I wanted to be really careful, very precise with my moves. Um, I wanted to be able to win this game and increase my ELO. So I just try and be pretty conservative about the moves, making sure I did good moves. So he recaptured, and I knew if he would have taken the knight, I could recapture with the queen or with the pawn, um, and uh, and just try and move my rooks and pieces uh, towards the king. But he recaptured. I captured there, and he moved his knight up. And I was thinking on his when he was uh, thinking on his moves. So I knew with his king there, he was attacking that bishop and also that pawn. He probably would have to attack the bishop before the pawn because then I could just capture with the bishop. Um, but I knew if I got my rooks up here, I would have to be close to a checkmate. So I kept like tried to move closer as I can, and I also didn't want like a fork with that pawn. And I knew he was pushing his pawns up to trap the bishop. So I moved the bishop out of the way, also attacking his rook. And I moved that up because I figure if I can bring my rook over here, uh, checkmate has to be like really close. Um, so he moved his king over, and I knew if he moved his king over with this rook here, that it would be a back rank mate. So I delivered checkmate. Um, Overall, this game felt really good. And let's take a quick peek at the review. So it says I played at 86.5. The opponent played 61.5. Um, I had just one miss, zero blunders, one mistake, uh, and they said I played like a 1550. Um, but I feel like the accuracy of the opening was a lot better than a 94.8. I don't know how many moves they consider to be a part of the opening. So many of the best moves, at least until what is it, move 5 or 6, that had given me a little bit higher accuracy than a 94.8. But I'm pleased with the game. I guess that's all I can really say about it. But thank you for watching, and we'll see you soon.